Welcome to the Gear Slum, your one-stop shop for all things guitar culture nonsense. I'm Aaron.
I'm Phil.
I'm Cole.
We slum it hard so you don't have to. All right, so I have this question specifically for the two of you because I know, Phil, you are into coffee and health / fitness. And Cole, I know that you are wise and not into coffee, but maybe into health and fitness. I said maybe into health and fitness. I don't know. All right, so here's the question.
I'm into health and fitness in the same way that, like,
you're into fitness.
Yeah, fitting this whole pizza in my mouth.
Okay, so assuming the guide, the like old, I don't know what you call it, the old like rule of thumb that you're supposed to drink a certain amount of water per day, right? Assume that that's true. My question is this: how much of that water can be coffee?
Oh, this is a perfect question for me because
you're bringing the logic. You're the logic man.
Well, also, like, much of my fluid intake is not strictly water.
True. So let's say, because this is what I was thinking. I was like, okay, if I drink like 3 or 4 like black coffees a day, it's not that much water, but it ends up being like, I don't know, like 30 water. Ounces or whatever. And it's mostly water, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, well, that's not really water because it's coffee. But then I was like, okay, but if I drink like 2 or 3 espressos and then drink the rest, and the rest of that amount I just drank as water, I would count that as water. Yeah. So, right, let's say I drink like 32 ounces of regular coffee, right?
Okay.
Or I could drink 4 ounces of espresso and 28 ounces of clean water.
What if you just chewed on some coffee? Don't they have like chocolate covered coffee beans?
Yeah. Or what if I drank 32 ounces of water and just ate the coffee directly?
Yeah. That's still
like
water.
What's the difference between those 4 things?
So I argue that,
or like, those 3 things, are they equal?
No.
So the only,
but why?
The only difference to me is the caffeine, because caffeine is a diuretic, so it makes your body like not, I don't know, like it doesn't.
But that's what I mean. If you're ingesting the same amount of caffeine, does it matter whether
like
it's
when I used to take
concentrated or spread out throughout your water intake?
No. And I mean, I guess if it's just like black coffee.
Well, okay, but there's a bunch of different things that are going with this. If we're talking about hydration, that's one thing. But Cole is like,
if we're talking about it from like a health perspective.
Yeah, Cole's touching on the fact that like caffeine is doing multiple things to your body. So the liquid in the coffee is water. I mean, and is hydrating you to a degree, but then the caffeine is kind of counteracting that to some degree. It's got to be, right?
It doesn't like cancel it out or something, but it just means
right.
Whatever, I don't know.
But I think, so if I drink I drink 12 ounces of black coffee, what equivalent of water is that? Like, what equivalent is that to drinking?
I think it's honestly 12 ounces. Like, you're splitting hairs at that point. I think the bigger thing from a health standpoint is like, most people don't drink black coffee, do they? Or maybe they do.
I think it depends, but yeah,
like a lot of people who get like their morning drink at Starbucks or whatever.
Yes,
it's like basically like a milkshake.
Yes,
with some coffee in it or
coffee
whatever.
In it.
Yeah, yes. And I think once you add milk, once you like have a milk-based drink, that's no longer obviously water. That's milk.
But I mean, milk is almost entirely what milk is like very close. It just has more calories and like if you add a bunch of sugar and stuff like that. But I think the same thing because I drink a lot of diet soda, which also has caffeine, not as much as coffee, but probably close. I think Mountain Dew is like close to the amount of caffeine in coffee.
Per ounce.
But then like the artificial sweetener, it kind of messes with you. I don't like all the claims about aspartame causing cancer and everything have been debunked, but it does like spike your hunger. And I don't know why it is, but I think it's just like your body sees all that sweetness or something and expects to get calories along with it, and it doesn't. So So if I drink if I start my day with like a big old Diet Mountain Dew, I'll get really hungry like an hour later. And normally if I don't like normally eat breakfast,
So there's this weird thing with coffee where it like makes people poop.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the caffeine, right?
No, but so that's like what you would assume. But then like for some people, it's like, it's basically as soon as you drink the coffee, it like makes you poop. It like triggers something. And it's not even like you haven't had any time to ingest. Is
it like a Pavlovian response or something?
Yeah, they think so. No, apparently they don't really know, but some scientists think, it like triggers some hormone. It's like a hormonal thing. Makes sense. Yeah. But it's like, it has to do almost with like, not just the contents of it, but like the flavor or the something in it.
I'm sure it's the same. It's got to be hormonal, like the hunger response you have to.
But it's not like you're like drinking it and then digesting it and then your stomach's like, oh
it's not like a gastrointestinal
it's not
thing.
It's digestive.
That's interesting.
Super funny. And so it affects people differently too. Like
I see all those memes. It's like a very common meme, but I didn't know.
Oh yeah
I didn't know like the extent of it or whatever. I assumed it was just because it's a diuretic, but
if I'm drinking like good coffee and making it at home, it's almost always black. If I go out, I'll get like a cappuccino or something.
So you're saying you wouldn't go like towards a latte or something like that. So you went black, but then you're like staying there.
Yes. I don't make lattes at home because I don't have an espresso machine or milk steamer.
Lattes.
Oh, milk steamer.
Fancy.
Okay. So a latte. A latte, you're mixing espresso, which is just highly concentrated coffee, right?
Yeah.
Yes. With milk.
Yes.
Which milk is just like watered down cream. So you could just like put cream in your coffee, right?
Yeah, it's something. There's like
I don't know that milk is just watered down cream. For the record, I mean cream is like the milk fat, right? Specifically, but
yeah, I mean like
it's like not far from it though, right? I mean you're
30,000 feet. Yeah,
it's all like it's 95% water and then a little bit of coffee and a little bit of milk, whatever concentrate.
Yeah,
dehydrated milk.
Yeah. Basically it's milk and then coffee and then water, but when you steam it, you insert steam into the milk, which breaks down certain proteins and fats with like physical reactions and chemical reactions. So steamed milk
I'm guessing the scientists told you that too. The scientists said that.
Yeah, I watch a lot of coffee science videos.
Yeah, exactly. Are those the ones that say that JFK Jr. is still alive?
No,
that's still a thing, by the way.
Jr.
There are still adult humans who believe that.
I don't know why. And then I saw a video of that, and then people were like, "What? JFK Jr. was a Democrat?" I'm like, I don't think he was.
But also, like,
or maybe he was. But
you're a public figure who very publicly died 20 years ago. You're claiming that he's alive, and that's the thing. You're like, well, wait a second. He wasn't actually and also like
no, I'm just saying like no, that's like
it is like
that's like
silly,
the thing. Yeah,
like, it is.
Well,
like
he's not even Republican.
Like, if you're gonna choose a dead political, choose like Ronald Reagan or something.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, I think it's like there's something like we're gonna stick it to him too because like their guy is now our guy.
I think it's like a mix of weird like wealth worshiping, that they have.
Yeah, it's like Abraham Piper,
The Kennedys were like the
that's Trumps, true too.
Trumps are like the worst knockoff Kennedys, right?
Yeah.
Did you guys see? I just saw it like a few hours ago. I can't remember the name of the channel of those two.
Oh, the
guys.
Good Liars.
The Good Liars. Yes.
Yeah, I saw that same one.
And he's talking to the woman. She's like, "You could call me batshit crazy."
Yeah.
But he's really out there.
Yeah,
He's
that's what
really
made me
out
think
there.
of
It's like, well, there you have it.
And he goes, yeah.
that. And she just looks like a normal
Yeah.
60-something-year-old
my
lady.
mom.
Yeah. Yeah, people
Yeah,
are
she looks like Phil's mom.
wild and
She's
out.
pretty hot for an old lady.
Pretty good. Anyway, I've been thinking about that all day, and you guys have the same. I thought maybe I was wrong in my thinking, but I think we're all kind of on the same page.
No, dude, most of my water intake is Diet Mountain Dew. So,
because then I was like, at what point does it change? Like, if I drink a cup of coffee and then like pour water into that cup and there's a little bit of coffee, is that water now coffee or is it water?
it doesn't count anymore.
Yeah.
Or like what I used to do in junior high, I'd have like a bottle of water and then a pack of Skittles. And I
Yeah.
would eat them like they were medicine, like throw a few Skittles in and then wash them down with water,
Mhm.
you know? So that's
Yeah,
not
or
water
I-
anymore.
I
That's
knew
just
people would,
Skittle
like,
juice.
Just put Skittles like in their water bottle and like let them dissolve, and then you have
That's
like
weird.
flavored water.
But then it's like not flavored right. It's
Yeah, like LaCroix.
Yeah.
yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
Don't
It's
piss
like a
me
little-
off with
just
your
like
it's like when
a
there's-
little bit.
It's like when there's cranberries in the water thing when you go to like your work Christmas party or whatever, you know?
Yeah, you got to do citrus. If you're doing citrus, okay, that does
Yeah.
something.
Like, hey, you know what tastes
Like, you
great?
can't just throw like whole strawberries in there.
Okay.
You know what tastes great is just water, you know?
Okay,
Yeah.
but
Like
I
just
will-
go with water.
I will say this.
I think
did
it's to
not
disguise bad water.
think it is.
Oh
did
yeah,
not
yeah.
think-
That's right.
I did not think I would like cucumber water.
Yeah, cucumbers are good.
Yeah.
It's
Cucumbers
like- I would
cucumbers
totally-
basically taste like water. They're like
Yeah, that's
water
probably
fruit, right?
Cucumbers are like slightly less. They're like less sweet watermelon. Like,
Yeah.
they have a similar flavor.
I saw a comedian say the worst part of a watermelon is the best part of a cucumber.
Yeah,
You're right.
Yeah,
It's just like
yeah,
a watermelon rind.
Yeah. That's really true.
I love that there was
I like watermelon.
like there's this big trend of alkaline water, you know, which just like slightly shifts the pH of your water, but like
Yeah.
you eat all kinds of other stuff. And I remember seeing like multiple influencers on TikTok making a video of like, or one of them was like a famous actress, right? And she was like, I always start my day with my alkaline water and I just put a slice of lemon in there. And it's like, hey, guess what? Your water is now acidic again, you dummy. Like you bought this $5,000 machine to make your water more basic, and then you put a freaking acid in it.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
Oh my gosh, that's really funny.
How else is she gonna make it taste not weird?
Exactly.
Yeah, people are dumb, dude.
People will just
take
it's,
vitamins.
it's the same. Did you come here to give me health advice?
I mean,
Like
if you
that
want
Ocean's
vitamins,
11.
just take vitamins. Or
You're
eat
like
some
the-
fruit.
You're like the old guy on Ocean's 11.
You got rickets.
Yeah. It-
Dude,
yeah.
you guys, my buddy, he's not in junior high. He is under 40 years old
Body.
and he has shingles. And
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, dude. My
I-
brother had him a couple years ago.
I totally thought that was an old person disease and you're not 40. You can't have that disease. And he's like, well, I do.
I mean, his was from my brother got it from stress.
It's chickenpox, right? I mean, it's the same virus.
Yeah.
Something,
It's
yeah.
like if
Like
you've
if you
had-
have chickenpox as a kid,
it's like
then
the
you're
dormant
like,
it's like
yeah,
the
yeah.
dormant chickenpox
Yeah.
virus still in your body, like remanifesting
Yeah.
itself or something. I like this. I feel like we're starting to horn in on Joe Rogan territory where we like bring up a medical thing and then we're like, yeah, I think it's probably this, you know?
that's probably.
I feel like this is what it is.
Hey, Jimmy, look that
We're
up
also
for us.
doing like the. I was trying to explain to my wife the other day who, oh God, I can't think of his name now. Oh, who Ben Shapiro is.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like anyway, I was like, he's just some dumb guy that like conservatives listen to. But he always does that thing. He's like, so let's say, and then he just like makes up some scenario and then
Yeah,
like
some
acts as if
idiotic.
that's reality.
Yeah. To get mad about.
Yeah, that's kind of how
Have
we
you
started
seen those
to-
videos?
Oh,
of
because I
him?
showed her the clip where he goes, where he's talking about global warming, and he's like, if the ocean rises, he's like, you don't think all those people on the coast are just gonna sell their houses?
Oh. Yeah.
There's that
So
latest
funny.
clip of him where he obviously had lip filler in his bottom lip and
Oh
not
yeah,
his
yeah.
top lip.
It's like traveling
so weird
down.
looking, dude. Like he's got to be filthy rich, right?
Oh
like
yeah.
how can he
Yeah.
not
Oh,
afford
yeah.
better plastic surgery?
It's like, yeah, because it's like going down like into his like
and it's just too little
stash region.
It's like he has like what does it look like?
Have
It's
you
like
guys
a
seen-
cartoon, like when you draw cartoon lips,
Yeah.
like you know.
Have you guys seen the clip of him watching some? Gosh, what is the video? But it's a man doing something sexy, and for some reason, Ben Shapiro decided to, on his show, play the video and have him reacting to the video, and it is so uncomfortable because the vibe, like, you're looking at his face and you're like,
He likes it.
it kind of seems like he's enjoying this.
Was it Andrew
Yeah,
Tate?
yeah.
And he's doing this thing where he's like, oh, like he's like he's disgusted by it.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
he's got this like creepy smile. And then he finally goes, oh, turn it off. And it's like, why you like, to me, if I recorded something that made me look,
Yeah, just like don't put it out.
Yeah, like you were into
Appear-
something.
appear in a way that I would not want people to
Exactly. Because like he's
misinterpret. I would
also
not.
homophobic. Like it's not you know,
Yes.
that's like, but you know, that's how it always.
I sent you a link to an Instagram profile called Ben Shapiro's bottom lip.
No.
And then I sent you a reply
Oh, nice.
that you should look at.
I'm going to.
That's not humorous, but it's functional.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Ben Shapiro.
I feel like my TikTok has been going through weird, like it gets hyper focused on like one thing.
Mine's
for an
been doing this
entire
weird thing where
Scrolling
like
session.
I get
That's a
people
little
who
too
have
far,
like no
Aaron.
views.
Split the difference. Yeah, totally. And
It's like
and
this
you
person
you
has
watch the
0
video
likes.
and you're like
Yeah.
waiting for it to be
Yeah,
funny
like
or something, and they're like, oh wait, this video is just stupid, and then you realize it has 4 likes. You're like, what?
Yeah.
I guess every
I-
video has to start somewhere, right?
Okay, but I try to, like, I go through that too, where it's like, for some reason, the algorithm is like only giving me like single digit views. And I'm like, nope. Like I will
You'll
just
say
keep
not
swiping.
interested.
Yeah, because like listen, I want you to understand, I am not interested in anybody's video
Yeah, I
when
don't want
there's-
to be on the cutting edge.
Yeah.
Of TikTok.
unless it's like,
The one exception for
somebody I
me
know.
is like hockey accounts, because there's a
Mhm.
good amount of people. Like there's a lot of goalies, so I mean it makes sense kind of, because they'll set up a GoPro behind their net and just like film
Mm.
themselves playing, and then they'll like show some of their highlights. So I'll see a lot that have very few views, and I'll comment on them and like hype them up or whatever, just because like
oh, that's
you know,
nice.
'cause that's the kind of guy I am. Or if it's like some conservative person, I'll tell him to, you know, never mind.
Tell them to never mind. Eat poop.
If it's some guy with sunglasses in his truck, you know,
You have to
and
tell
hat
them
on.
eat poop and unalive.
Do you guys ever get the warning that's like, normally when people comment using these words, they get suspended? Are you sure you want to make this comment?
No, I don't use.
No.
I don't make a whole lot of comments on TikTok.
I don't know. I do. I go through phases, I think, but I comment
Lately I've
more
been
than the
seeing
average
a lot
person.
of people like accusing other people of having chronically online takes.
Yeah.
Like that's a new thing. And I saw one today. Someone commented and said, using the term chronically online is offensive to people who deal with
Yeah.
real chronic illness. And they're like, this is the most chronically online take
Yeah.
of all.
Like ironically, I was gonna comment like, how do you feel about the Snoop Dogg album or the
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre album?
I know, it's like, what about chronic tacos? You remember?
Yeah.
Do you know chronic tacos, Phil?
Yes,
Was that a thing when you were here?
Dude, some videos just have
There's one, like,
hilarious.
in my old neighborhood.
Yeah,
Like
I've
that
never been to
video
one,
of the
but-
kid of the kid who like has special needs of some kind. It's like a video I've all seen 1,000 times where he like, they put him into the basketball game at the end of the game so he can make a shot or whatever. And it just wouldn't go in. And like every comment is just roasting him.
He shot it like 20 times.
I know, dude.
And then
it's like at a certain
ref
point,
like called a foul when like no one was within 20 feet of him.
Yeah,
and gave him free throws, and he missed those.
At one point, the other team is passing him the ball.
Yeah. Like
they're just all like, okay, we're all gonna stand around, wait for him to make a shot.
So then like the other team like committed a lane violation so he could get more free throws.
There was a video of one of those, and the kid, it was a football game, and the kid on defense didn't know like what was happening, so he just drilled the kid, tackled him. Yeah. So good. You could tell he felt terrible. Oh man, I gotta go find that.
I just saw there's this old SNL clip, not old, but a few years old, of when Jonah Hill was on there, and he like, it starts with him like winning a wrestling match, and then he goes home.
Dude, and it's so good.
All the news is talking about
how he's that kid.
Yeah, how he's like learning that while watching the the news.
So good, dude. And his dad's sitting there watching it with him.
Yeah.
I love that sketch.
It's really good.
I think our For You pages are almost identical.
I'm sure.
Because I just saw that one like yesterday or the day before as well.
We send each other so many.
Yeah, exactly. Or like a lot of times when I go, lately it's only happened a few times, I'll go to comment on a video and you will have already, because it shows like your friends at the top, Oh man, dude, Jonah Hill has some great, because all the like inside SoCal that he was on was the best one ever.
With Terry and Kill Him. Well, that was a Good Neighbor thing originally, right?
Yeah, it must have been.
It was Kyle and and Beck Bennett.
Yeah.
Good Neighbor stuff. I still go watch their YouTubes every once in a while.
Dude, they're so good. And every time like Kyle Mooney's sketches pop up, there's always comments that are like, this guy isn't funny at all. Why? And it's like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
He's a gift to SNL.
He's hilarious.
So, you guys ready to talk about Gurgles?
Oh yeah, heck yeah. What are those?
I don't really have any this year.
Gorgoyles? Gorgiles?
Yeah. Gargamels.
My goal is to purchase a Poly Blue.
Oh, dang. I was hoping you were going to say it was to purchase a Roni, because my goal is to sell a Roni.
What's a Poly Blue?
Hey.
It's that pedal we talked about last time.
Can you pay attention to what we do around here?
Wait, what?
It was such a good...
Oh, the Poly Blue Octave. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you please be professional and and
the best finish on a pedal ever?
Yeah. It's not called a Poly Blue. It's called Poly Blue Octave.
Again, could you please and over here, Aaron?
I just didn't know. I thought for my mind, the first thing that came to my mind was like, oh, that must be some kind of like if you travel guitar he's
isn't the carbon copy called the carbon copy delay? If somebody said, oh, it's not called the carbon copy, it's called the carbon copy delay.
That's a good point, Cole. Aaron, thoughts on Cole's comment that he just made?
I gotta Google it though to find out.
It's called carbon copy analog delay.
Yeah,
but analog delay is smaller than carbon copy, and on the carbon copy mini it doesn't say analog delay at all.
That's because it's a different pedal.
Carbon Copy Deluxe also doesn't say analog delay, but there's still analog delays.
Aaron, you're being very loose butthole right now.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You can provide 100 examples of something that doesn't exist.
Yes, I know.
But
yes, you're right.
Thank you.
All I'm saying is I didn't know what the Poly Blue was. I thought it was a guitar that you were talking about, and then you jumped down my throat like I'm some kind of
boy
murderer.
Poly Blue. That's
Poly Blue is like
that's still my favorite Facebook meme ever. The
Blue Boy 5 bulbs.
Blue Boy 5 bulbs.
You're my boy, Blue Boy 5 bulbs.
Dude, It makes me genuinely laugh. Like just
it's just so delightful
because I can't conceptualize the human being who would write that believing that that's a helpful ad for their
Blue Boy 5 bulbs.
It's honestly, but on the other hand, like it has 5 tubes, right?
It does.
Like the fact that he chose that, like you have to look inside of it. You have to look past the thing that says freaking Blues Junior.
Yeah, all the words, all the writing.
And
it's also like that's the feature you're focusing on. It's not like 10-inch speaker.
It has 5 bulbs.
Guitar amplifier. It's
no
5
color,
bulbs.
no nothing. But also like it's not like I could see some like weird translation, like you translate it to Japanese and back, and Blues Junior goes to Blue Boy. But like it's right there. It's written on the amp. It's not like they send the amp out in different languages or something like that.
I want so badly for the person to be just 100% illiterate, and like they're like,
it's Charlie Kelly.
I can't read these words. I don't know what these words mean. What I can do is I can describe some things.
Vaguely describe. I love calling them bulbs, even just like that basic level of calling a tube a bulb. I like that. Like, oh,
they
like,
light up. You're like,
we should call them bulb amps, honestly.
Yeah, bulb amps.
Like, I got my first bulb amp.
They call them valves in the UK. Is that?
Yep.
Why?
I don't know.
It's weird.
Why do they call tennis shoes trainers?
Well, because you train in them.
Jay, can you help us out?
But like a valve and a tube
Trainers.
are very different things. In America, at least, like a valve is like the thing that like either allows or doesn't allow something to pass, right?
So is a boot and a trunk.
Which is, I mean, is that what a tube? I mean, that would be like a diode, I guess. So I don't know.
But tube makes sense because it's like it's in a glass tube.
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying like maybe it makes. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense to call it a tube. I'm just saying
like
maybe
it acts as a valve.
So I don't know.
Like maybe that's more of a functionality thing than like what it. Like a tube is like, okay, it's a tube, a glass.
It's just
tube.
like a physical description.
The valve is like, well, it acts as a valve in the circuit.
The function.
Maybe
that could be. Again, we're Joe Roganing over here. You know what I think? Dude, that video of him talking about the dad fighting the son is so fantastic because he goes through all the emotions. Like he describes like
he feels
how
so
he
bad.
feels. Yeah, he's like it is a horrible thing, and you know this world, blah blah blah. They're like, it's fake. He's like, oh, I'm an idiot.
Well, yeah, it's not like it's real, but it's not a father.
It's not a father beating the crap out of his.
It looks like it's like an outtake from like Bully Beatdown or whatever.
It does. They look shady as hell. They both look very.
It's
methy.
Obviously like two guys who aren't like real fighters, like fighting.
Yeah.
It's like they're not trained boxers or whatever they're doing. Are they boxing? I don't know.
I think they're kicking also.
Are they doing MMA, mixed martial arts?
Meh.
Mixed martial arts is not really mixed martial arts anymore, though, right? Like it's. I mean,
it is. I mean, it's kickboxing and jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is like a huge part of it.
That's true.
Like it's wrestling, but like some people are very good at MMA who have never trained specifically in jiu-jitsu. They're just wrestlers.
Yeah.
Right.
And some people get away with, like Conor McGregor is a really good boxer, but he's not a great wrestler. I mean, he's kind of like out of the sport now, but it is like still like you can dominate like early on if you're extremely good at one and not at others, but there is a lot of the best guys are like really balanced, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the mix.
But it does like start to specialize.
But it's like, I guess it's just different because now it's like almost everyone has the same mix to like
even
different
keel,
degrees.
yes.
Yeah, it's way less interesting now because even like someone will come in and they're like, you know, like Daniel Cormier, he's very famous MMA guy, and he was like he was like a college wrestler, like or Olympics maybe, like world class wrestler.
Yeah.
But then he can still just like his game is only like slightly different than other guys who are world class boxers or whatever, you know.
Right. It's not like when it first started out, it was UFC was insane.
And I guess it is like at the lower levels, right? Like somebody who doesn't know how to wrestle at all will just try to knock out somebody who is trying to take him down or whatever.
I guess it's like anything. It's like when I was like in the Olympics run, they were talking about swimming and like how in the freestyle event, you can actually do whatever stroke you want.
Yeah.
It's just that that's the best stroke to do. So everyone ends up doing the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing. It's like you could, in MMA, you could technically do whatever you want, but this is the best way to do it. So everyone.
Or it's like when somebody discovers a new way, like, you know, whatever, like the dude who the first person to high jump backwards. Like, remember when high jump used to just be like, you're basically like diving over the pole. And then like someone was like, oh, now, you can go way higher by just going sideways and backwards over. Yeah. And then obviously everybody does it that way. Or so hurdles, like, I think, have changed in similar ways.
In the OG UFC days, like there was no weight classes, and they were basically like, they're like, it was exactly like those freaking movies in the 80s. It was like, oh, let's see which.
Yeah, it was like Bloodsport.
Yeah. And like sumo wrestlers going up against like these, you know, Taekwondo guys and just like these crazy things.
Well, and they would market it that way as like, this guy only knows this guy only knows jujitsu, and this guy's only a boxer. Who's going to win? It's like the greatest. What was that show? Like the greatest killer or something. I can't.
Greatest Warrior.
Yes, it's something warrior. It was on A&E or something, and they would like, could a barbarian from this time beat a Viking from this time or whatever. You know, it was like, could a bear beat a shark or whatever.
Yeah. So,
but even early on, wasn't like Hoist Gracie, like he just beat everyone. Like
that's how
from the very beginning.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu got super popular because he just freaking dominated. And it didn't matter if somebody outweighed him. Like he would still
what they could do. Like
as soon as if you get him on the ground one time, because you can stay far enough away from somebody to not get punched, right?
Yeah,
and just be super safe. And they might catch you, but
I mean, I don't know if I could.
I think he even used
but like somebody who's good enough, you know,
would like use the gi to like wrap people up. Like
that's back when they would like
and stuff. Yeah,
just
wrap your robe around someone's neck,
which is like a part of jiu-jitsu, you know,
right?
There are submissions that are based on having the gi on, which they don't wear them in UFC anymore, obviously.
And so but then it was like, oh, this guy's discipline is he's dominating.
So that's the best.
I want to learn that discipline.
So that's why like you can no longer. So like, Khabib is like one of the best UFC fighters of the last 5 years or whatever, and he was just a grappler, like a submission guy, you know. Like you can't go the other way anymore.
Yeah, you can't be a good
everybody
enough boxer
had to
to
learn jiu-jitsu and wrestling or grappling of some kind, right? Yeah. Like you just can't, because even Conor McGregor is not good at grappling. He's like way better than almost everybody, you know, obviously.
Yeah, because if somebody gets you on the ground, like you have to be able to counter the moves or you're freaking finished.
Which is how Khabib was like undefeated, and he would get the best people on the ground, and then he just hold him there for 5 minutes, and it's like excruciating to watch, you know. It was fascinating. Have you guys ever seen him? Do you know who he is?
Yeah.
He just like retired too, because he told his dad he was going to retire after like, I don't know,
oh, dang.
at a certain age, or I think his dad died, and then he was like, I told him I wasn't going to fight anymore. He was like at the prime of his career.
Yeah. Crazy. Good for him.
Freaking Russians, dude, or freaking Dagestanians.
Whoa.
Have you guys ever heard of Dagestan?
No.
You can Dagestan on these nuts.
What?
I don't know.
Why would you want
somebody just open a creaky door or something?
Oh, I did. Adjusted my mic stand.
I heard like it's like an old man farting.
Aaron has a cool like Mad Men liquor cabinet.
Yeah.
right to his left. Right.
That?
Yeah.
That's a microwave.
It's just kitchen cabinets.
It's just regular cabinets.
Why are you holding up your finger like that?
So here's a
stuff.
question. How much water does beer count for? Because every liquid is almost entirely water, right?
Yeah. Well, okay.
Except for like I don't know, gasoline or something. I don't know. Like I'm sure there's exceptions.
Even that's probably mostly water.
But I think so. I don't know.
In medieval times, they did not have clean water, so they drank like freaking wine.
Yeah, for like health reasons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the Bible, it wasn't really wine; it was just grape juice, Phil.
Exactly, Aaron. That's what I've been saying.
That is garbage that old people have told you.
It's Mormons that have told you that.
The Bernigans told us that too.
Oh yeah. That's like a Baptist thing too, isn't it? Like,
no, Baptists are cool.
Like old fashioned.
Baptists drink a lot,
but like an old fashioned Baptist, anyone like our parents' generation that was Baptist, it was like, you shouldn't drink or whatever. Like, oh, I don't drink around my pastor or whatever.
I remember like it was like a big thing. Like everyone would talk about how the Catholics drink a lot. Like at their parties, they drink a lot of beer. Like, cool.
Catholics.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Not to me, just for the record.
I'm down to clown.
So funny. Like where I grew up, Catholic was like almost synonymous with Mexican. Like all the Mexicans were Catholics and all the Catholics were Mexican.
Mm-hmm. Certainly any
which is
like
not
devout
true in a lot of places.
Any like devout Catholic, right?
Yeah, but it was almost just like, I mean, it's just like a cultural thing at that point. It's like
totally.
The white people are Lutheran, and all the farmers are Lutheran, and
but it's the same way. It's the same. Like even in Quebec, like if you went to any church, especially a Protestant church, it was all Africans and Haitians.
Yeah,
because nobody, like no native from Quebec, wanted to have anything to do with any religion.
Yeah, good for them.
No, it's not good.
No, it's good for us. More room in heaven.
More room for us. Exactly. There's only 144,000 spots to go around, right?
Dude, I need my elbow room up there.
Exactly,
I saw this TikTok and the dude was like bashing the Mormon church, and then he mentioned the Watchtower. I was like, all right, bro, you don't know what you're talking about.
Bigotry straight.
Yeah. You're off. You're out of your element, Donnie.
Cole, do you guys have a newsletter? Is that what the Watchtower?
Yeah, it's called the Bible.
I don't know if it's called a newsletter.
It's like a tract. It's a tract, right?
But is the Watchtower like rewritten, or is it like one thing?
No.
It's like stories and stuff. It's like
a monthly thing. It's like
people writing. They're like writing talks and inspirational stories and stuff like that.
Okay, so
the church does have a magazine like that, but we don't hand it out like as a missionary tool. You just like subscribe to it and it gets mailed to your house or whatever if you want it.
It drives me crazy when people say tract
highlights
instead of tract. Like,
yeah.
So it's just a little track. I'm gonna hand out these tracks.
Like Hot Wheels?
Yeah. No.
Are you one of those dudes in Las Vegas just handing out your demo CD like on the strip? Whoever will take one.
They hand out tracks in Las Vegas too, right? Those guys that smack them,
Tracts.
They smack the things in their hands. No.
They smack the track, as they say.
They say.
Those are business cards. Are they not? Are they not? Are we not?
I mean, they are in a sense, right?
Yeah. Like trading cards, business cards.
Cards all about business.
Yeah.
Because killing is my business. And business is good.
What's that from?
Phil?
Tell me.
Major Payne.
Oh.
Dude, that movie.
It made me think of Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, yeah.
He says, we're in the killing Nazi business. And cousin, business is a booming.
Major Payne is a weird movie. I bet to go back to it. Like
are you deaf, son, or just dumb? Actually, he is deaf. He is deaf, sir. So stupid. Oh man.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Handicap Man.
Dude, that
if you
Marlon
don't answer
Wayans
me
had a
when I'm
moment.
talking to you, I'm gonna put my foot up your ass.
Oh, what a dude. What a dude.
Oh man.
What year was that? Like 94?
I
95?
feel like it's a little
96?
It's like height of In Living Color, right? Or is it
95.
like right after?
Yeah. And I remember that movie and like maybe In the Army Now, some Pauly Shore movie were out around the same time.
Yeah.
It's got to be In the Army Now.
Dude, we're these are all just getting added to the list of movies I have to watch with my kids. Did I tell you I watched the SNL Best of Chris Farley with them?
No.
You did. You did.
Oh,
tell
did
us.
you? I don't know.
You told us in the last episode.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Still
yeah.
Holds up, you know.
Oh wait, I thought you didn't say Saturday Night Live, so I thought you were talking about just the Poly Blue, not Poly Blue Octave.
You thought I was just watching Tommy Boy because that's the best of Chris Farley.
Yeah, I thought you were just watching the best Chris Farley movie. Stupid.
It is stupid, Aaron.
It is stupid. That's why I said it.
It is stupid.
You know what I watched recently, like 2 days ago? This is a really funny movie. Have you guys seen The Money Pit? The Money Pit with Tom Hanks. Such a good movie. It's a good one.
I'm thinking of
Tom
Moneyball
Hanks and Shelley
Long. It has Brad Pitt.
Yeah, Tom Hanks and Shelley Long. They buy a house and everything goes wrong in the house.
Did Shelley Long and Martin Short ever do a movie together?
Yeah.
No.
They should have.
Steve Martin and Martin Short did.
That's
many
true.
movies together.
Dude,
I saw. You know what movie I watched again was
Something
High Fidelity.
Happened. Oh, that's a good one.
That movie, it's still. I think it's. I always used to say it was my favorite movie of all time, and I think that is still
really interesting. I did not know that. That's because you used to work in a record shop, right? Have you ever told us that?
Have I ever mentioned that? I didn't know you guys knew that. I loved that movie before I worked. Maybe that's what made me want to work in a record shop. I don't know.
I like John Cusack because of that movie.
Yeah, me too. And I liked Jack Black because of that movie.
Oh yeah, and Moby.
I'm sure I've said this on the podcast before.
The line that I quote more, there's that TikTok going around, like, what's the least known movie line that you quote all the time? Is when I say you can be and are wrong.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I love that line.
Grosse Pointe Blank.
Grosse Pointe Blank is good. Yeah,
that is my favorite John Cusack movie.
I think my favorite John Cusack movie is probably Better Off Dead. Probably. Sorry. Better Off Dead.
He's not an endearing character in High Fidelity. That's the thing.
Right.
Yeah.
The whole premise of the movie is that he's like a real jerk. Yeah. He's like in this self-pity phase, but in reality he was the bad guy in most of his relationships.
Grow up.
Yeah.
That's that movie got me into Nick Hornby too, who wrote the book High Fidelity.
Oh, okay.
Along with another movie with Hugh Grant called, what's it called? About a Boy. Did you guys ever see that one?
Yeah, dude. We've all seen About a Boy, right?
And Fever Pitch. Have you seen Fever Pitch?
About a Boy is the one where he is rich from having written that dumb Christmas song, right?
Yes, he's rich because his dad wrote a Christmas song.
Oh, it was his dad? I thought it was him.
I think it's like his dad wrote a Christmas song, so he just lives off the royalties.
And it's like essentially like the fictional version of Simply Having One Christmas Time. Like that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Because they play the song in the movie,
Yeah. And so he meets a girl, a woman, and like pretends that he has pretends he's a single parent so that he can like date her, and then ends up hanging out with this kid.
If he wrote an autobiography, would he call Nick Hornby? Would he call it Miso Hornby?
Yeah, probably. There's also an album, a Ben Folds album.
Yep.
That Nick Hornby wrote all the lyrics to.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah, so Nick Hornby like wrote lyrics and sent them to Ben Folds, and then Ben Folds turned them into songs. He like wrote music to the lyrics.
So hipster.
Oh, it's Lonely Avenue.
Yeah, Lonely Avenue. It's like it's pretty hit or miss, but some of the songs are really good.
I'm alone and she's alone
on a lonely avenue. That's it. That's the one.
She's a brick and I'm drowning so.
Did you know in Canada when they put that song out, they had to change the lyrics to say 6 a.m. and it's Boxing Day.
I don't know that song, so I don't know.
Oh, it says 6 a.m. day after Christmas.
Oh.
Come on now, Aaron.
Oh yeah. What's that song called?
Brick. It's called Brick House.
She's a brick,
dude.
How?
That's the mashup that needs to happen.
I want to see Brick House. It's Hugh Laurie just singing the song Brick. That's dumb, huh? That was not funny. That's dumb, right?
It just sounds like it's just with a British accent, basically.
Brick House.
Aaron, can we talk about Hereditary?
Yeah.
Or should we not talk about it?
We can. I'm into it. Do you plan to watch it?
No.
Maybe.
Cole.
Yeah, it's
Cole,
too
don't
old.
Ever.
No, watch it. It's so good. I think I might watch it tonight.
No, Aaron, don't watch it.
It's so good.
I saw you take a couple sips off of something brown. I don't wish that on my worst enemy.
The movie?
Drinking and watching Hereditary alone.
I saw you take a couple sips out of something brown. That sounds like a Ben Folds lyric, honestly. That was like the third. I
saw you take a couple sips.
The verse that got cut from Brick, I think.
Oh,
dude, Toni Collette is awesome though.
Yeah, dude. Also in About a Boy.
Yeah, there you go,
dude. I like
Leafs legend
Cole.
Toni Collette.
There are a few moments that are Toni Collette's acting that I was like, I had
like when she's
chills.
Yelling at her kid for killing their kid or whatever.
That one actually was very uncomfortable, but it was not
on the list.
It wasn't what I was the two moments that I was.
It's a movie, right?
It's a movie.
It's a film.
Oh, sorry.
Because
I saw a clip. I saw a clip of it.
Movie,
I was like so
it's
annoyed.
Not a show. It's not a series.
Because I was like
a single movie.
I was so pissed off at IMDb because somebody like posted that clip of her yelling at her kid on TikTok. I watched the whole thing.
Take that face off your effing face. Is that what
I'll go down a rabbit hole of someone recording the screen of their laptop. Like, I don't care, you know.
Yeah.
But it said like season 1, episode 3 or something in the caption. So I go to IMDb.
Why do
and
people do that?
People, I'm like,
so many TikToks that just say episode 1 or episode 5.
Yeah,
it's like, and it's not anything.
And I go to IMDb and it doesn't show an episode list anywhere. So I'm like, this stupid app, like the design is so bad.
Idiots.
Yeah. Turns out it's a movie.
Blame it on IMDb.
My wife hates scary movies though, and I understand this is scary.
Listen,
it's pretty scary.
In my mind, there are movies that are like fun scary, and then there are movies. There's like, you know, there's a sliding
like fun
scale.
scary.
Fun scary.
That was the sequel to Fighting.
Scaring.
Fun scaring.
I don't know. I mean, also like sort of slasher stuff has got to be in the mix in there somewhere. But like,
yeah, there's like gore. I made that up, but there's like gory movies.
Gore.
There's like silly, scary movies.
Yeah,
jump scares. This is more like psychological thriller / demonic horror. It's awesome.
See, like, jeez, don't see, like,
it's good. If you haven't watched it, guys, watch it. It's worth watching.
Okay, so here's an example of, in my mind, fun. Okay, fun, scary, Scream. Fun.
That's
scary.
Mostly fun.
Yes.
Slightly scary.
But I mean, I'm just saying it's a horror movie, but it's like, it's fun. And
yeah,
it's
that's like a
designed-
slasher movie though, right?
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's but like,
Because there's like supernatural horror, which is like its own thing too.
yeah, that's true.
But yeah,
so like,
I
Scream is
think
not
the
that.
I think the distinction is drawn at how many breasts are shown on screen.
well, that's definitely a subcategory.
That pushes it into the
There
fun.
are quite a few breasts shown at the end of Hereditary.
But
Are
they're
there
all
really?
old, dude.
They're all old.
Oh,
It's
like The
so
Shining.
scary.
Oh yeah, so that would make The Shining a fun,
It's like a whole
Fun
circle
movie.
of old ladies,
right?
Dude,
of naked
it
old
is
people.
Okay, now you got my
Cole.
attention.
Cole.
Yeah.
It is so disturbing
Hereditary
because they're
old
like,
ladies.
don't Google that, viewer.
No, it's too late. I'm redditing it.
Viewer.
Viewer,
Oh,
do not
The,
Google.
the funniest thing that I guess there's a subreddit called Movies Circle Jerk, and the only thing it says Hereditary 2018, and the only the post is just a clip, a still frame from Clueless, like of Alicia Silverstone and Clueless.
Weird.
That's her name, right?
yeah.
Mhm.
Super weird. I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, I'm not getting if there's a joke in there. I don't.
Yeah, I don't either. It's just like a random. There's that one subreddit that's like coin flip. It's either like some hilarious picture or like some gory
Oh
Picture.
no.
or like not gore, like some terror, like some guy that broke his arm versus
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't know, some a puppy kissing a baby or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not familiar with that. I don't frequent Reddit.
I don't go on Reddit whenever I am looking for something like
Mm.
for an opinion on something or for advice. I just always add Reddit to the Google because it's to the point where Google is not reliable for actual information. It's all just like AI generated,
Mm-hmm.
garbage. But yeah, I don't like usually scroll through Reddit.
I get all my Reddit via TikTok, and it's all "Am I the asshole?"
Yeah.
TikToks with like people doing crafts.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now we got to go find one. Should we do a quick Am I the Asshole before we go?
Sure, I saw
Could it be-
one that
Could it
was
be
like
hereditary.
it was
related?
so bad. It was this dude. He's like, my 16-year-old daughter went out for New Year's Eve, and I told her like the conditions were she wasn't allowed to drink and she wasn't allowed to like go to a secondary location. And then she called me and she said that her friends wanted to go to another party, so she went with them and had been drinking, but then all her friends left and she wanted me to pick her up, and I said no, and I went to sleep. Am I the asshole?
It's like such a dumb.
It's like,
See, they're just like,
yeah.
yeah.
That's not even a question. It's like I woke up to dozens of calls from my ex-wife.
So this one is actually
Idiot.
similar. It's a lady who said, I left a couple weeks ago. I accidentally left my car keys in my uniform pants at work and left my pants in my locker
Mhm.
because I don't wear my uniform home. I realized when I got to the subway where I'd parked that I left my keys at work. A half-hour train ride, no guarantee I'd be able to get back in the building. It was after midnight. I called my husband to bring me the spare key. I called 22 times and it's after midnight, right? He's just asleep.
Mhm.
I tried my son, but he was asleep and didn't wake up when I called a second time. I kept calling my husband. I wound up taking an Uber home, got home at like 3 a.m. and just like blew up at my husband because he had his phone because he was asleep,
Yeah.
like, am I the a-hole for blowing up at my husband? And all these things are like, it wasn't an emergency, but it could have been. And it's like, he made a mistake by keeping his phone on silent. It's like, you left your keys in your pocket, and like nobody will even acknowledge the fact that she is the one who screwed
Yeah.
up. Like it's her mistake that caused the entire thing.
It's like not necessarily, but you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have blown
Totally,
up at
they
him, but,
both,
it's
like-
definitely like
like
a very human response. to do
normal
that.
people
Yeah.
would have been like, you blow up at your husband when he gets home and he's like, oh crap, I totally screwed the pooch. I
Yeah,
should have left my
yeah.
phone on. Okay,
And
no
then
harm,
you're
no
like,
foul.
no, it's okay.
I'm glad we
Like,
didn't have to learn from an actual emergency. We
Yes,
just got to
I
learn from
know.
a fake emergency, and then you move on with your life.
Yeah. How about this one? This is what I want the viewers to weigh on, because this one I saw on TikTok where it was a woman who was filming a man who was yelling at her at a gas station.
Okay.
You guys know this one already. So
we're familiar.
He's yelling at her at the gas station because she's been parked at the pump for a very long time and he wants to pump gas and there's no other pumps open.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
I don't think you've seen it, but I described it to you, or to maybe you weren't paying attention, but to a group chat. So he's yelling at her and she's like, "Can you believe this guy?" First of all, okay, he should not be yelling at her. Then it turns out she wasn't pumping gas. Not only that she wasn't pumping gas yet, she had no intention of pumping gas. She parked in front of the gas pump to go into the store and shop for, she claims 15 minutes, which means it's probably longer than that.
Dude,
because
who shops at a gas station for 15 minutes?
Yeah, she said it was really busy and she knew it was really busy.
Is it like a gas pump at a Kroger or something?
It's at a quick trip.
So it's like a gas station, right? Like a glorified
gas station. It's a regular gas station.
What's she buying in there for 15 minutes?
She said all the parking spots were filled. It's very busy. So she parked in front of the pump and went inside, bought some donuts for her kids for breakfast, got herself a coffee, got in line. And then she was like,
because just saying that, I know there's at least one reply that's like, "Oh, you bought your kids gas station donuts," you know, like the judgmental, like, "Oh, you're a bad."
No,
parent.
everyone was on her side. They're like, "I do that all the time. If there's no parking spaces, I park in front of the pump."
No, but here's the thing though, like I've done that before, right? When there's no parking spaces and there's empty spots at the pump.
Yeah.
But I like rush in and rush out, and if there's somebody there, I'm like, "I'm so sorry. I know that I am in the wrong here."
Yes.
And I will now move as quickly as I possibly can, you know.
Yes. So here's my theory of what's happening is that guy. So this woman did a terrible thing, but because some dude yelled at her,
she gets
she's gets to be the victim, and like it makes her look like the good guy.
Totally. It's
but
just
she's
like
the bad guy. They're both bad guys.
Remember the one
people.
we read about the girl, like the coworker whose husband, who was 20 years older than her, was bringing her multiple gifts per day at work.
Yeah.
And it was like, she's the bad guy. But then you blew up at her and was like,
"Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you're just mad that you're going to be single forever, or blah, blah, blah." You know, that's what half of Am I the Asshole is just like, hey, somebody like slightly annoyed me or inconvenienced me or disrespected me. And then I completely went nuclear on them. Am I the a-hole? And it's like, like that's, it's not like the subreddit isn't called "Am I legally protected?" or "Am I legally in the right?" It is like, you can be right and also be a huge jerk, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, no, this dude should not be yelling at you, but also you should not be parking in front of a gas pump.
Yes.
It's not a parking spot. And she made it.
But if you are going to park there to
gas.
So did she, here's the real question though. Did she leave her car running?
No.
Oh, well. Should she have?
Oh, well, she didn't pump gas though, so it doesn't matter.
If she had pumped gas though, it would matter?
I don't know.
To me, okay. if she was pumping gas,
I knew how to rope Phil back in with that.
If she was pumping gas, and then after she was done pumping gas, she was inside for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
She's the same amount of horrible as if she wasn't getting gas.
No.
15 minutes?
You leave. I mean,
it depends, because sometimes you're like, okay, I got to run in real quick. And it takes 15 minutes, but you didn't plan on it.
There's no, like, I spend way more time in gas stations than anyone here because that's where I get soda. Like, there's no excuse to spend 15 minutes in a gas station. But
because
also,
the
like,
line is long. But
you don't wait until you're done pumping gas. You turn the gas pump on and walk inside while it's pumping.
Yes, I agree, Cole.
And then you just like, but
like pumping gas.
Sometimes it sits there. Maybe you have to like blow up the bathroom, and then it might take 15 minutes. You know?
Yeah, it's crazy.
But most gas stations around here have like 15 pumps.
Yeah. Then she's like, "Oh, this is a really small one that's always busy."
So if that's the case,
we'll go to a different one. Why would you go there?
You know? Yeah.
Here's the thing.
I hate everyone.
The guy comes up and goes, "Hey, you're really lame for."
Yeah.
And she what she should have done is gone, "Okay, sorry."
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
And then like that, but instead she starts arguing with him. Well, it's because, and it's like, no, dude.
That's every.
What right do you
like
have
Karen
to tell
video,
me how
though.
to act? You can't tell me how to act.
If people were just willing to be like, "Oh yeah, my bad, I was wrong." Like, "Oh yeah, I forgot you can actually film people in public. I'll leave you alone now." Or, I forgot, skateboarding isn't a crime or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
everyone has to be a cop about it.
Yeah, like people are so obsessed with justice, which is ironic because like so many people that are so obsessed with justice are also Christians, and the entire point of Christianity is, mercy and not justice, right?
It depends. If you're Calvinist, then
I was thinking it was like
Calvinist
to prove that you're better than other people.
Yeah.
Until
I thought for Calvinists there was no rules at all, where you make up the rules as you go, right?
Whoa, no, dude.
Oh no, that's Calvin Ball. Sorry.
What?
Calvin D's nuts.
You guys don't remember Calvin Ball? Calvin and Hobbes. Yeah,
Calvin Ball. Yeah. I thought you meant. I thought Calvin Ball was like a person.
Well, like one of the Ball
Lonzo,
kids, LaMelo's little brother,
Calvin.
Dude, if there is a Calvin Ball, oh, dude, there is a guy. He's running for Howard County executive.
Oh, heck yeah!
There you go, American Democratic politician.
Yeah.
Deliberately absurd sport without rules. That's a good one sentence description.
I like that.
Deliberately absurd. You know what else is deliberately absurd?
Yeah.
Friendship.
Oh. Guys, thanks for friendship.
Oh,
hey.